So I think it only took one really good, amazing day in the backcountry to sort of click for me. I didn't grow up in New England. I grew up in the Mid-Atlantic. I learned how to ski as a kid, skiing on hills. And then I moved here in my 30s and sort of took up skiing, almost like learning to ski again as an adult. Did a season, on the resort, and it was one good day near Camel's Hump where it just sort of clicked.
Eventually, if you ski enough, you hit a couple of those days where, you get powder, there's not a ton of people on the hill, and you realize that's exactly what you're looking for. No people, good snow, and all you want to do is backcountry ski after that.
I think it was a couple of friends. I heard about all their wild adventures into the mountains, and I'd always been a resort skier, and they kept saying it's the way to go, and never really bought into it. And then I went one time with Adam's old skis and got hooked on it, and that's all I want to do now.
Splitboarding, backcountry skiing, it's untouched possibilities, Drive around the state, you can see the route lines everywhere,
There's always that moment, and I had it this morning for sure, where the alarm goes off and you're like, do I really want to do this? Because it's just so easy to just turn back over and go to sleep. But it's always worth it, right?
It's always worth it, and you always know that you have a friend counting on you to show up. So that's what makes it worth it.
don't think there's that many times in life when you can just really be in the moment. And I think when I'm headed up, that's one of those times when it just feels like you're totally in a place.
Gets wasted without you. Under the pressure.
It's probably one of the few places where you can really truly be alone. You know, alone with yourself. You're with your friends because it's always better when your friends are out there. But it's just you. It's you and your thoughts. It's you inside your own head. And it's sort of a sense of peace and tranquility that I haven't been able to replicate anywhere else.
What does it add? I think it adds a sense of being, you know, feeling like I belong doing something that makes sense. Spend my day, unlike some other people, in front of a computer screen and not have to deal with that unplug. It's nothing better.
Oh, watch as it all breaks down here under the pressure.
It's almost like a meditative type state where you're listening to your breathing and you're, you know, sloughing up the hill and think about everything.
I mean, I think it's great when you have people to be there to share the moment with. I think that's awesome. You know, you get to the bottom of a run and high fives all around and beers in the parking lot. That's great. And sometimes there's just a day when you want a couple hours that are just yours, and you don't necessarily even need to tell anybody about your runs, and you just have it.
Everything up until the point where you get to the summit is the exact same, whether you're hiking or you're skiing. But then when you're skiing, it's 1,000 times more fun on the way down. And it only took sort of one time of doing that where it just sort of, it hit for me, you know, hit the internal tuning fork. the only thing better than standing on top of a beautiful mountain in the winter is knowing that you're about to ride down it. That stretch in February where it snowed like 4 feet in like a 2-week period, and it was just bottomless hero snow.
Was there a singular run throughout the year that you really loved?
It was Gulf of Slides, and it was Mount Washington. So that second run, when we went back up, the sun came out for a few minutes, and all of a sudden the snow went from sort of windblown, a little bit crusty, a little bit grabby, into something resembling pretty good powder for April. And we just went with it. And that was awesome. That was the run of the year.
That's all you get. That's all you get now, Mom. That's all you get. Just me and this guitar, baby. That's all you get. We ain't got no apology. Won't be no fairy tale. Ain't got no excuses, baby. I'm doing my deal. I don't know what you would think, baby. I don't know what you would think. I don't know what you would think, baby. I don't know what you would think. Well, we ain't getting there. I ain't buying you no diamond ring. That's alright. Ain't got no money, ain't got no car, ain't got no excuses, baby. I'm drinking at the bar. I don't know what you would think, mama. I don't know what you would think. I don't know what you would think, baby. I don't know what you would think. But we ain't getting there. I ain't buying you no diamond ring. That's alright. But we ain't getting married. I ain't buying you no diamond ring. That's alright. Well, we ain't getting married. I ain't buying you no diamond ring.
I think one of the things that's really fun about skiing is you're always getting better. And that can take up a lifetime, just learning how to get a little bit better each time. So I think you're never going to get bored, and you're never going to be complacent. And that'll keep me entertained for as long as my knees hold out.
And I hope that when I go, I'll be singing.
When I click in, it's always going to be the next best run of my life, so I just love it.
To be with you, and you'll know that I'm a ghost, 'cause you hear me singing.
feels like everything falls away a little bit. It's when you're on skis.
Go outside and enjoy it, and teach your kids to enjoy it, and instill those values in them. And so I hope that my kids want to be outside in the winter the way that I do, because that would be probably the best thing you could do, is to take your passion and share it with your children and pass it on to them in some small way.
I can't wait for my girls to grow up and want to do the same thing. Right now they're more interested in hot chocolate, but I hope and pray that they want to come riding with me every day.
Every day I get closer to my dad, and I hope that when I go that I'll be singing. Yeah, I hope that when I go that I'll be singing.
Vermont PBS, partnering with local filmmakers to bring you stories made here. For more, visit vermontpbs.org.